Welcome to Moments in Time and Space, a microfiction podcast, bringing you tales of horror and suspense with your host, Aaron Maracle. Hello everyone. Gail has finally found some balance to her life, and she's enjoying a predictable routine. Every Wednesday, she has a local diner for lunch and some quiet contemplation. Let's see what the special is today. The smell of greasy food assaulted Gail as she stepped into the diner. It was near lunch, so most of the booths were filled with patrons. There were still a few empty spots at the counter, and Gail made her way to the closest one. She slid into the stool and glanced up at the television that was tuned to some kind of cooking show. It was hard to hear the host over the din of the diner. "Hey, sugar, what can I get for you today?" The friendly voice belonged to a tall, pink-furred creature. She clutched a notepad and pencil in her black-taloned hands. Her jaws snapped open and closed as she chewed on gum, occasionally pausing to blow a bubble. She regarded Gail with a pair of bright yellow eyes, and it looked like she offered a smile. It was hard to tell with all those long teeth. "What's today's special, Flo?" Gail asked. Flo tapped her pad with her pencil. "Tuna melt." "Sounds good. I will take that and a chocolate milk." "Coming right up, hon." Gail watched Flo vanish into the kitchen, and she glanced around the diner. Creatures of monstrosities of various shapes and sizes filled the booths. Clawed hands and furry paws clutched coffee cups as the patrons enjoyed each other's company. After the accident, it had taken some time for Gail to adjust to her new reality, but she had managed to come to terms with how she saw the world now. A large, gnarled hand grabbed her shoulder. "Hey, good looking. Come here often?" Gail gave the hand a soft pat. "Every Wednesday. How you doing, George?" A large, sunken gray stone face came into Gail's field of vision. "Can't complain. Even if I did, no one would listen." Gail laughed. "I hear you, George." George laughed as well, and lumbered off to slide into a booth with a few other monsters. Gail turned back to the television and tried to focus on the cooking program. The host was showing off some kind of casserole to the studio audience and seemed quite proud of it. The program went to commercial, and Gail felt her interest waning. Someone fell into the stool next to her as she glanced at the newcomer. Gail's heart skipped a beat as she took in the new arrival's appearance. He looked like a normal human. Gail tried not to stare at the squat, balding man as he flagged down Flo for a menu. She thought she recognized him, but Gail wasn't sure. It was hard to remember faces after not seeing them for years. Clothing provided no help either, as everyone in this town dressed mostly in flannel and jeans. The man saw Gail staring and offered her a broad smile. "Hi, Gail. How's it going?" She recognized the voice and she knew she was sitting beside Fred Cramps. On any other day, the man would have looked like a large gray frog with horns and yellow spots. However, today Fred looked like a normal human being, and that was not normal. At least not for Gail. She forced herself to remain calm. "Hey, Fred. Goes pretty good for a Wednesday." Fred scanned the menu and scratched his chin. "Good to hear. I wonder how the tomato soup is today." "Couldn't tell you. I went with the tuna melt." Right on cue, Flo dropped off Gail's order on the counter in front of her. Gail picked up her sandwich and began to eat it, trying not to focus on Fred. She listened to him laugh and joke with other patrons as she ate. When she finished, Gail tossed down some bills on the counter and left the diner without offering any goodbyes. Once outside, she quickly crossed the road and made her way to the sheriff's office. Coming out the front door was a large werewolf with dusty brown fur, dressed in a uniform. "Got a minute, Sheriff?" Gail asked. The werewolf nodded. "For you? Always. What's up?" "I'm here with one of my hunches." "Oh? Who has your sixth sense tingling this time?" "Fred Cramps. Anything unusual going on with him?" The sheriff tipped his hat back and thought for a moment. "Had a few inquiries about missing temp laborers. Family said they were working at Fred's farm, or Fred said none of them ever showed up. Figured they must have run off or something." Gail bit her lip. "My hunch is pretty strong. I hate to ask, but—" The sheriff shook his furry head. "Your last two hunches led to some major arrests. I'll get Fred in for some more questioning and see what shakes loose." "What if Fred objects?" Gail asked. The sheriff offered Gail a toothy grin. "Then I say you're probably going to go 3 for 3 on your hunches." How are your hunches? Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. You can also follow me on Twitter at Moments in TAS. Feel free to recommend this podcast to others and help it grow. The opening and closing theme is Creepy Night by Daniel Carlton. Until next time, be safe, be smart, and be well. See you soon.